So where do I even begin with this episode of Akame got killed? There's so much to say, yet I am kind of mind-fucked in a way as to what the anime is doing with the manga. Now, if you heard last week, I was basically talking about that. A lot of people were telling me that the anime went into filler and it went an anime-only route, but it is still keeping intact certain bits of the manga, because what had happened was I was like, all right, fuck it, you know what? The anime is going into an original route. I'm going to read the manga, and I read the manga from chapters 38, which is basically the end of the Seiryu versus Mind fight, all the way up to the current stuff. And this episode had actual straight up bits from the manga inside of it. So I'm guessing what happened was the mangaka came out and told the studio a rough idea, more or less, of what she's planning on doing. Okay, I'm going to have this happen here, and they went on and did certain aspects of it, but also put their own little twist on things and kind of changed things because, my gosh, let's talk about it. So for starters, you have this big invasion, and to be honest with you, it seems as though they combined two arcs from the manga, but then also switched certain things, basically having Tatasumi imprisoned. And in the manga, that scene, there was supposed to be some other stuff, and again, I can tell that they just cut out a lot of things from the actual manga, but the stuff with Esdeath, you can definitely see that Tatsumi is her weakness. The only thing that can possibly, in my opinion, stop Esdeath is Tatsumi, simply because he's the only one that can catch her off guard. He's the only one that can make her lower her guard and be like, holy fuck, and then he can get her. So, in my opinion, if anybody's going to kill Esdeath, he's not the strongest one to do it. He's not the one that has the most muscle, but he's the secret weapon to killing her. But Jesus Christ, to be honest with you, even as an anime only at this point, they have spammed death beyond belief at this point. I mean, you have two deaths in this episode yet again. One of them was actually from the manga, and I respected it, and I'm glad that they kept certain portions of the manga in there with, like, the little line that Esdeath said at the end to Susanoo, because it was a huge part of his character where she was like, I'm not going to remember you as a Tegu, I'm going to remember you as a warrior, which I respected the fuck out of Esdeath for saying that and them keeping that in, because that was a part of his character, him kind of figuring out whether or not, damn, am I, a Tegu? Should I just stay as a Tegu, with people kind of, telling him, hey, you kind of have certain aspects of a human, why don't you, act like it? So the fact that he died like that, it was overall pretty good on that aspect. But the extra death, the mind death, and I'm going to tell you right now, maybe it might happen in the future, but Mine is doing awesome shit in the manga right now. So the fact that they killed Mine off in seemingly a weird-ass way, because I'm like, she got hit by lightning, but she doesn't look that torn up to be dead. What the fuck? Why would you, I'm not even the biggest Mine fan, but I will tell you, in the manga, she definitely impressed the fuck out of me, and shit that's going on right now, I'm like, why would you do that? Like, the way they changed things up as well, it was like, and I want to explain to you guys so you can understand what I'm talking about. In the manga, Mine expressed her relationship and her feelings with Tatsumi a while ago, and at this point when she invades, she's already supposed to be like, that's my boyfriend, get off of him. And it makes like this interesting dynamic of a love triangle between Mine, Tatsumi, and Esdeath, because Esdeath wants him and he's with Mine already. So it was supposed to be a little bit more interesting like that. But in the anime right now, it's kind of like, yeah, let me get Baka Tatsumi, but then at the end she did express her feelings to him, so they changed it up in that regard as well. And this episode, I don't know, I'm honestly scared at this point that the anime is spoiling events from the manga. Like, what if the reason why that happened is because at some given point, Mine is going to die, and she gave them a rough idea, and they did it differently than what's going to happen in the manga. And if that's the case, seriously, anime, stop it, okay? Because what the fuck? And I mean, there was some really good bits in there. The stuff with Susanoo and Agenda, her fight versus Esdeath, even though, remember, there was supposed to be some sort of encounter with the two of them, that was never addressed, and it was just kind of like a plot hole, because weren't they supposed to fight an episode or two ago? And yeah, it just kind of got skipped. So what the fuck happened? How the fuck did they get away? But this episode, to be honest with you, it just felt like, even as an anime only at this point, how am I supposed to continuously every single week be like, oh damn, I feel bad? At first, even though it was, yeah, we got a decent amount of death throughout the entirety of the series, it was spaced out enough, and it still didn't really bother me because everybody had their moment. But you had two more deaths in this one when we just were getting over Lawbox death. So at this point, you're desensitized to the amount of death. Susanoo's death in the manga actually got me, but here, it was just like it's followed up by Mine's death, so what am I supposed to really feel? And I just think that is bullshit that they killed off Mine. I don't know, I just feel as though the way the manga's going and what the anime did, even as an anime only, excluding the manga aside, seriously, what the fuck? Why are you spamming death at this point? I mean, we got like 3 episodes left. Are you gonna kill another Night Raid member or 2 all the way until the end in Jaegers? And again, one of my biggest fears is that the anime is spoiling things. Who knows? Maybe we're gonna get Akame versus Kurome in the fucking manga as well. Thanks for letting me know, anime. So to be honest with you, I don't know what to rate this episode. On one half, it did have some really awesome bits and it was staying sort of true to the manga with certain elements in there, but then it went completely off the grid, killed off a character that isn't even supposed to die to my knowledge unless they're spoiling shit. And yeah, I guess I'm going to give it an inconclusive. I don't know what the fuck to say about this one. As an anime only, it's still frustrating because you're killing off character after character, but at the same time, comparing it to the manga is not that good either, simply because, like, what are you doing? One of my best suggestions, in all honesty, if you really enjoy Akame ga Kill, go read the manga. You can start around chapter 38. It's 53 chapters out right now. 54 should be coming out. I will be reviewing that as well. And yeah, that's really the best advice I could give you, because the anime is mixing canon material with filler material and it's confusing as fuck. It was even hard for me to break it down for you guys. I mean, there was, again, some interesting and awesome stuff. And if it was only anime, I would still be like, every episode we're getting like multiple deaths now. Come on, stop it. But let me know what you thought of this episode. If you're an anime only, how did you feel about getting 2 more deaths? And knowing that mine wasn't supposed to die like this, or die for that matter, as of right now, what we know in the manga, do you feel as though it's BS? Are you at this point desensitized to the amount of death that we've had in Akame ga Kill? And for manga readers watching this, what the fuck did they do? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, this episode should have been called Kill the Canon or Kill the Manga, because they are just like, I don't know, doing whatever they want. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you can do so as well, that'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.